Get him. Get him. Hit him with a pose. Yeah. Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy, HD here, and welcome to another YouTube video. Alright, you guys, so I've been getting this question a lot, even when I'm streaming, when I'm not streaming, in my DMs. And we're finally gonna do it, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna be updating my top 10 strikers for head-to-heads list. Once again, before we get into the video, I do want to let you guys know these are my opinion and my opinion only. Since I released the last video, there have been a lot of amazing strikers that have been released in the game, so the list is going to change quite drastically. I'm going to be going over the skill points that we should be using for the strikers. Okay, so the number one skill point we should be using is dexterity. Okay, so dexterity is the end all be all. All right, so looking at Cantona here, he's just gonna be a prime example. He's not part of the list, but yeah, given that dexterity trait would be the best possible thing to put on your striker. So if you get the rank 4 rank 5 of a striker, just make sure you're maxing out the dexterity first. Shooting, again, any card in this game can shoot. It's my philosophy. If the card has a 5-star weak foot, they can shoot, so you don't really quite need to put shooting on them as much, but you can put shooting on them just to increase their shot power and just their shooting ability. Passing is not dexterity. Passing is an absolutely useless skill for a striker. If they have playmaker, then that kind of helps them out a little bit, but passing is just not something you want to put on your striker. It's completely useless. Now that we've gone over the skill points that are needed, we're now going to be going over the top 10s list. Okay, so starting with our number 10. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 is going to go to Fernando Torres. Okay, so this card is still very valid. I am waiting for EA to release a better version of him. But yeah, I would say this is probably one of, if not the best chibi striker available right now, for all the free to plays or people who are just starting out their accounts. This is the type of card you absolutely want to go for. He has very high pace, decent shooting. I mean, the dribbling is not on par with the pace, but you guys got to understand this card has been in the game for quite a while. Going into his traits, he does have the finish shot and speed dribbler, which are very good. His work rate is high, medium. And then his stamina is 4.5 star, coming in with the 4-star skills. For a card that's over 6 foot, his agility is pretty good. Yeah, so this is going to be our number 10. It is going to be Fernando Torres. I really don't need to say too much about this card. Going into his transfer value, as you guys can see, he is pretty cheap. So getting his rank 4 or rank 5, preferably his rank 5, if you have the budget for it, would be the best way to go. Now we're moving on to our number 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our number 9 is going to be none other than Kvaratskhelia. Okay, so again, this list, it was very difficult to make this list, you guys. So yeah, like I said, the list has been changed drastically. Okay, so Kvaratskhelia is number 9, our 99 overall Kvaratskhelia. Now, before I go over this, if you guys are wondering if the 101 version can play striker as well, the answer is yes. If you have the 101 version, the winger version, you can go ahead and use him as striker. So the 99 overall version, I ran with this card for a long time, and let me tell you guys, this is one of the smoothest strikers in game. High pace, high dribbling, high physical. Again, he has the 5-star weak foot, so the shooting really doesn't matter, but his shooting is still very good. Okay, going into his traits, he has the flare and the finesse shot. Yeah, put more exaggeration on that finesse shot. One of the best finesse shot takers in game. Absolutely brilliant card. High medium work rate. And going into his stamina, he does have the 4-star stamina and the 5-star skills. So his stamina would be the only downside, but for this version of his card, you don't quite see the stamina as much. In game, when it does reach like the 80th minute, when you try to do skill moves with him, you can actually feel it. He's a lot slower. But overall, amazing card, you guys. Brilliant card. All right, so going into his transfer value, okay, he's not super cheap, but you can probably get this card for around 200 mil, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, absolute brilliant card. Now moving on to our number 8. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 8 is going to be none other than Diogo Jota. Okay, so before we get into this card, I have gone over him in my previous strikers video. Yeah, this card cannot play. I mean, he can play singular striker technically. That's if you know how to play with him on singular striker. But he is not a singular striker. Okay, so this card is more for the double striker role. So high pace, high shooting, high dribbling, high physical as well. When I use this card, best ball holder or best ball controller I've ever. Hey yo, no diddy. Best ball handler that I've ever seen. Again, I mean, his passing looks very low, but he can also find a pass as well. Very explosive on the ball. So 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skills. Going into his traits, he does have the high work rate. And now people are asking if his high work rate is a downside. This is why he's a dual striker. So like he's best when you play him as a double striker, just because he is more defensive, but he's also very offensive. So playing him as singular striker, not only is he a little too small, but you'll find him in the defensive aspect a lot. Going into his transfer value, he's showing to be 95 mil. So if you can get his rank 4 or rank 5 preferably, that would be the best way to go. Now moving on to our number 7. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 is going to be none other than Alexander Isak. Okay, so this card is still very broken. Oh my god, man. Insane card. Like I say all the time, this card has fake stats. Okay, so don't mind the stats. He head to head, he's one of the best cheap beast strikers in game. Okay, so let's look at his stamina and skill moves. So 4-star stamina. So in game, you don't really notice it going like 85th plus minute. You'll notice it a little bit, but he can still do skills and still accelerate. You just have to be careful with how you do it. Going into his traits, he does have the flare and outside of the foot shots. I feel like he should have the finesse shot trait. Absolutely brilliant with the finesse shots. Standing at 6'4", high medium work rate. Just there's no words to express this card. He is the head-to-head maestro. Going into his transfer value, one of the cheaper cards, so getting his rank 5 is an absolute must if you're going to get this card. And if your budget doesn't go up to his rank 5, you can also get his rank 4, and just make sure we'll put in the skill points on dexterity. Now moving on to our number 6. All right, ladies and gentlemen, following up his Swedish brother, number 6 is going to be none other than Viktor Gyökeres. Okay, so this card, I am going to let you guys know now, he is not for everyone. Okay, so if you're a heel-to-heel spammer, if you're a lane change spammer, then this card is not for you. But this card takes a special type of players to be able to play with this card. As one of the quickest roulettes in game. His roulette is actually, I don't think... I've seen players do roulette, but his roulette is one of the fastest. Like it's so smooth when he does the roulette and when he does it right. So his stamina is the 5-star stamina, which is a plus. The only downside on this card that would have literally put him top 3 in striker is his skill move. If he had a 4-star skills, he would have definitely been a top 3 striker. That's how good this card is. High strength, high pace, high shooting, pretty high dribbling, 5-star weak foot. Going into his traits, he doesn't have any traits, but I feel like he has invisible speed dribbler, because once he starts accelerating, he's unstoppable. Not a lot of defenders can stop this card just because of how strong he is, and also standing at 6'2". High medium work rate. Going into his transfer value, that's another downside, I would say, but if you can afford this card's rank 4 or rank 5, that would be the best way to go. Step over exit is your best friend when it comes to Gyökeres. Okay, now moving on to the big boys, starting with our number 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen, another newer card. Number 5 is going to be none other than Son Heung-min. Oh my god, bro. This card is mental. Another dual striker card. So you can play Son as singular striker, but I feel like he just plays a tad bit better when he's playing on that double striker role. So if there's two strikers. Yeah, there's literally no words for this card. He's so strong, so explosive. Also, he should have an invisible speed dribbler because of how explosive he is. Yeah, so 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skills, very high pace, super high shooting, high dribbling as well. Physical is up there as well. Going into his traits, high work rate. And he does have the finesse shot, and finesse shot is an understatement. This card can hit one. Okay, he can hit one, he can finesse, also has the long shot taker. So perfectly balanced card. I used this card and I was very shocked at how explosive he is after doing step over exit. Going into his transfer value, that would be one of the only downsides as well, I would say. But if you can afford his rank 4 or rank 5, then he is your man. Okay, now moving on to our number 4. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, number 4 is going to be none other than Puskas. Okay, so I've seen this guy's gameplay, and yeah, nah, he's the big deal. Super high pace. The shooting, he probably has the best shooting in game currently. 118 shooting. Super high dribbling, very high passing. For his height, his physical is not bad as well. So this card is also a dual striker type of card. You can try him as singular striker, but he works best playing along another striker. He's very, very explosive. Okay, so going into his stamina, 4.5-star stamina. Skill moves is the 4-star skill. Going into his traits, okay, we're first going to look at the high medium work rate, and looking at his traits, he does have the flare, the long shot taker, the playmaker, the outside of the foot shot. So is striker the only place he can play? Yeah, he can only play striker. So playmaker, he's kind of like, I don't know why he has playmaker, but again, EA just decided to give him traits, I guess. But yeah, the only downside on this card, other than his weak foot, which doesn't matter as much because this card can absolutely hit rockets. Like, his shooting is insane. His shot power is mental, but it would be his transfer value. Okay, so he's almost 2 billion coins, and no card is worth this much. Okay, so if you are thinking about getting this card, or if you pack him and he's untradeable, he's absolutely worth using. And yeah, he's gonna be our number 4. Now moving on to our number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 3 is going to be none other than Kylian Mbappe. Okay, so although, you know, it's very controversy with this card on how good he is, and some people say his speed doesn't feel, you know, as fast as it shows on his stats. Okay, yeah, so I have used this card, and it is true. Okay, when this card plays in the right role, in the right position, he is insane. Okay, so he can play both singular and double striker, but he works well again with double striker. I think I just say double striker a lot because that's what I use, and I just find it easier to use striker when they can connect with each other. But yeah, so super high pace, high shooting, high dribbling as well. Physical, it's there as well, pretty decent. Going into his traits, he does have the finesse shot and the flare trait. Now, there is one downside that I did notice about this Mbappe. His hold up play is horrible. Okay, he doesn't have very good hold up play, meaning a center back with like good strength, when you pass Mbappe the ball, a center back can just like hit him from behind and he'll cough up the ball. Like, he's not like the Drogba, he's not like, you know, the R9 who can hold up the ball. They're very strong, but Mbappe is absolutely brilliant, still a very good card. So if you have his untradeable, or you're wondering if you should use this card or not, then absolutely yes. Going into his transfer value, it did go down a lot. He was over 2 billion coins, so he's a bit more affordable now. So yeah, getting his rank 4 or rank 5 would be the best way to go. Now moving on to our number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my number 2 is going to be none other than Didier Drogba. Okay, so again, I know some people who've used this card and not liked him as much, and I know some people, you know, who've used this card and absolutely love him. I'm giving Drogba number 2, you guys. Just Drogba, when used in the right way, he is insanely amazing. Okay, his hold up play is brilliant. His acceleration is brilliant. Like, this card is unstoppable. Heel to this, he might have the best heel to heel in game, I believe. Like, his heel to heel is mental, bro. So when I use this card, he could not stop scoring. Okay, so that's why this is my personal opinion. I do know there are some downsides for this card where you can look at, you know, his weak foot. Again, his weak foot just doesn't matter. He can score in either foot. One thing I did notice though, Drogba starts getting tired. His skill moves start becoming clunky. He's a lot slower. It's heel to heel. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's a bit, you know, it's a bit inconsistent. But yeah, he can play the full. He's brilliant, man. Just an absolute brilliant card. 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skills, and then his traits, he does have the high work rate, so which is what encouraged me to even give him the number 2 spot. Okay, he's an insane card. He has long shot taker and power header. He is a very meta striker. Like, he can play singular striker. He is one of the cards where if you're playing double striker, he's one of the ones that you need, because he can hold up the ball, so then you can run other strikers as well. Going into his transfer value, it is cheaper than, you know, than in the Mbappe, than some of those some of the other strikers striker cards that are out. But yeah, he just has to be used the right way. So going for his rank 4 or rank 5 preferably would be the best way to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to go into our number 1. But because there's so many great strikers out there, we're going to do the number 1, and I'm going to give you guys 5 extra strikers that you can use. Okay, so this is pretty much a top 15 list. Okay, now we're going, without further ado, we're going to go into our number 1. Y'all knew who it was, man. Y'all knew who it was. Oh my god, number 1 once again, 3 for 3 R9. There hasn't been a card close to this R9. This guy's a bully. In game he does not have 84 physical. He has like over 100 physical. Now during the release of this video, this is the current highest rated one, but I do know EA are gonna give him a Ballon d'Or version, which I cannot wait. The only thing I know they're gonna do now is they're gonna take away his speed dribbler. We don't really have to say much about this card, so hopefully they keep his finesse shots. I know they're taking away his speed dribbler, 5-star weak foot as well. Medium low just doesn't matter, but if they do change his work rate and give him some type of high low, yeah, nah, that's game over. They can have speed dribbler if they can give him a high low work rate. So yeah, 4.5-star stamina, 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot as well. Very yeah, man. Rank 4 or rank 5. Okay, everyone's getting the rank 5, but rank 4 or rank 5 would be the best way to go for this card. Okay, now without further ado, you guys, we're going to be going into my honorable mention. So these are 5 extra strikers that you can use also, that can replace pretty much anyone within the bottom 5 of this list. So we're going to start with our number 1 for the honorable mentions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 1 for the honorable mention is going to be none other than Gerard Muller. Okay, so I've also seen gameplay of this card. His shot power, it's the one that got me in. Okay, it's a brilliant. His finesse shot's brilliant. Yeah, so again, another small striker, but guys, high shooting, very high dribbling, and I believe his agility standing at 108. His reaction, he has one of the best reactions in game. So 121 reaction, probably the highest reaction from a striker as well. Yeah, stamina, 4.5-star stamina, skill move, 4-star skills. Going into his traits, he has the finesse shot and power header. So he's kind of like a Diego Jota, but with one less weak foot. Okay, so yeah, I haven't really tried out this card, but I have seen gameplay of him. He's quite explosive as well. Going into his transfer value, as you can see, he's a bit cheaper than Puskas, because Puskas is just a bit better. But this Muller card is still brilliant as well, you guys. So going for his rank 4 or rank 5. So if you've packed this card, obviously if you're wondering if you should use him or not, going for his ranking him up to rank 4, rank 5 will be the best way to go. Now moving on to our honorable mention number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, honorable mention number 2 is going to be Marco van Basten. Now again, with the release of this video, this is the current card that we have of him. I do feel like he's going to get a Ballon d'Or card, so like a 102 or something like that, but this is just the current one that's in the game. This card is still very broken. One of the best skill stun, well, people call it skill stun, but I call it heel to heel spamming. Still one of the best heel to heel spammers out there. He's like a Drogba, but with, you know, he has the extra weak foot, so 5-star weak foot. Still a very brilliant card, annoying to play against. He holds the ball so well, very physical, good strength, great finesse shot, team player, flair. He's just an amazing card, you guys. Again, his work rate is medium low, just doesn't matter. And yeah, still a very, very broken card, I would say. There's not much I can say about this one. But yeah, a lot of people say that this card feels like a bust, like he's very clunky. Like I said, I mentioned in the previous video, you guys, if you are going to use a card like this with the 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skills, the worst thing he has on him is agility. His agility is 91. So with a card like this, you can only pretty much do one skill, and then you have to either give the ball up or you have to shoot or something. Okay, he's not the type of card where you can turn into 5 different circles, you know, do ball control and, you know, do these little dribbles to dribble through the whole team. He might do it here and there, but one skill, and then follow through with a shot. That's pretty much who Van Basten is. Going into his transfer value, getting his rank 4 or rank 5 would be the best way to go. Now moving on to our honorable mention number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, honorable mention number 3 is going to be the 99 version of the Kylian Mbappe. Okay, so this card is still very broken, and he does have the speed dribbler, finesse shot, and flare trait, and some may say this card feels a little bit faster than its anniversary version, which I have noticed. This one is more explosive. I would say like the acceleration on this one maybe is due to the speed dribbler, but he's a tad bit explosive when doing the step over exit or doing, you know, heel to heel or something like that. But at the end of the day, Mbappe is just fast, but this one just feels a bit more explosive. Still a very broken card. High low work rate. Going into his transfer value, it's very high, but that is just for his base price. His rank 4 rank 5 should be in the 500s, so getting his rank 4 or rank 5 would be the best way to go. Now moving on to our 4th and final honorable mention. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 4th and final honorable mention. I know he should have been higher on the list, but it is going to be Eusebio. He's a well-rounded striker. Very high pace, decent dribbling, high shooting as well, decent physical. Going into his traits, he has the long shot taker, the flare, the speed dribbler. I do feel like he should have somewhat of a finesse shot because his finesse shots are actually very good. Going into his work rate, he does have the high medium with the 4.5-star stamina and 4-star skills. Very agile card. Now when I used Eusebio, his acceleration to me didn't feel as fast as I would have liked it to been. But he's still very explosive and he scores a lot of goals. I've been using him as like a super sub. Every time he comes on, he scores a goal. Okay, so that is going to be that for the Eusebio. Going into his price value, getting his rank 4 or rank 5 would be the absolute best way to go. All right, you guys, so that is going to be all for our top 10 strikers list plus 4. Okay, I know I said I was going to do plus 5, but we did plus 4. Okay, if you guys do enjoy these type of videos, make sure to drop a like and comment down some strikers that you think are absolutely broken that I didn't have in the strikers list, and we can argue about it. Okay, but make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We are on our road to 10K subs and we're getting very close, you guys. Okay, and if you want to see more content like this one, click on this video here.